Good time of day, guys. My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 8 Matsuribayashi. Last episode was very short, but we saw Akasaka return to Okinomiya, meet back up with Oishi, and then we saw Hanyu basically telling, hey, Rika, I'm gonna spoil Higurashi for you, and she's like, no, I'm not done reading it. And then, Nomura, some random lady who seems like she's gonna be screwing over fucking like everyone she knows, I guess. I don't fucking know what's up with her, but yeah, last episode was really fucking short because I just wasn't feeling up to getting through it very fast, but yeah, anyways, though, this episode, hopefully I'll feel a little better. Hopefully it's at least 45 minutes instead of, how long was the last episode? 36? Regardless, one other thing, in case you're really good at counting pixels on a screen, this video is slightly higher quality than the rest of Matsuribayashi has been, because I think I've gotten far enough into Matsuribayashi to the point where I can trust it to not crash while I'm recording it, because Minagoroshi did that a lot, so I just decided to screen record this. So yeah, but now I'm back to recording it as an application, so the quality's gonna be good again. I don't know. Anyways, let's read. Whatever is going on? Rika, you aren't behaving normally this morning. Do you think so? Am I acting strange? I don't know how to say it, but you seem much more mature today. Oh. Rika's being mature. How. Hanyu, don't tease me today. What the fuck did I just knock over? Whatever. You too, Satoko. Please don't mess around. I don't feel like it. About a week, counting from today, huh? Satoko gave me a perplexed look. Maybe she thought I didn't feel well. I want to talk to Keiichi and the others, including Satoko, but I don't know how or where to begin. We all like to joke around a lot, so they might not take me seriously. How can I get them to understand the danger I'm in? Good morning to you, Chie-sensei. Oh, you're here as well, coach. Good morning to you, too. Good morning, Satoko-chan. Rika-chan. Oh my. Is that a headband for maids that you're wearing? That's against the school regulations. You will be punished. Pfft. Dr. Irie, stop acting like that at school. Coach, Rika doesn't seem to be feeling well this morning. Might you check her over, please? Oh, what's the matter? Did you catch a cold? I still don't know how to tell my friends, but Irie, at least, is on our side. Maybe I can talk to him more directly. If I keep thinking about it, I'll still be thinking at the end of the day. Maybe I'll start with him. Hanyu nodded as if saying that was a good idea. Ow. Satoko, let's play a trick on Keiichi. Let's do something to his chair. Oh, please, it's a trap, not a trick. I'll teach you how to set a trap for Keiichi-san. Ow. Hanyu and Satoko ran to the classroom. Hanyu must have left on purpose. I have to use this chance she's given me. Irie, can I talk to you in the nurse's office? Sure, that's fine. Let's go there. Irie probably thinks I'm going to talk to him about Hinamizawa syndrome, so he agreed to go somewhere people couldn't hear. If there's any change in my physical condition, it could be a sign of something very serious. Even if it's just a simple cold, Irie is very concerned about my health. What's wrong? Are you feeling sick? Irie? I'm going to tell you something odd, but I want you to take it seriously. It's a very important matter. I gave Irie the sternest look I've ever shown him as I spoke. Irie usually acts like an idiot, but he can be an adult when he needs to be. Seeing the expression on my face, Irie started to look more grave himself. How do I start? Okay. Irie? I'm the Queen Carrier, right? Yes. The parasite that lives in your body is different from everyone else's. What happens if I die? Like I told you before, something terrible will happen. No. To be precise, we believe something terrible will happen. After all, it's impossible to verify until you die. However, several cases involving social brain parasites similar to those of the Hinamizawa syndrome have shown that the death of the queen carrier can cause mass suicides or riots. That would be Takano-san's area of expertise. Maybe you should ask her instead. I don't know much about it myself. In other words, Takano knows better than anybody that if I die, something terrible will happen. More than ever, I don't know why Takano wants to kill me. There's no way I can figure it out myself. Irie is here with me right now. Maybe he'll know. I should ask him. Irie, please don't ask any questions and just answer. Would there be something to gain from killing me? What? Kill you, Rika-san? Who would? Irie, you aren't supposed to ask any questions, remember? Sorry. No, I can't think of anything. There isn't anyone who would benefit from your death. I repeat, if something happens to the Queen Carrier, all infected persons will reach the terminal stage within 48 hours. That's what makes the syndrome so dangerous. The scale of the disaster will be far greater than any individual case of paranoia or psychosis. Would anyone profit from that disaster? No way. Killing you is tantamount to killing all 2,000 villagers. Nobody would consider that for a minute, even as a joke. If I die, all the residents of Hinamizawa will go insane, and may even kill each other. What a perfect ending for people who are descended from demons, huh? Could that be what Takano wants? Since she always talks about dangerous and bizarre things, it's obvious she enjoys cruelty. She always talks about how she wants to witness, with her own eyes, the raw brutality of the man-eating demons she read about in the dark history of Onigafuchi Village. It's possible that she wants me dead, just so all the villagers will develop terminal symptoms. Of course, that's in the worst case. So if something happens to you, there's an emergency measure we're supposed to follow. An emergency measure? I've never heard of anything like that. I've never told you this before. It's rather an unpleasant measure, so that's why I never mentioned it. The Irie Institute's top priority is protecting the Queen Carrier. But if you die and all infected persons develop terminal symptoms, we're supposed to go ahead with this contingency plan. That's understandable. If all 2,000 villagers were to go insane, there would be no guarantee that the devastation would remain within the village. Obviously, it's a good idea to be prepared for the worst case scenario. There are these things called emergency manuals, and among them, the one for the worst possible disaster, in other words, the event of your death, is called Emergency Manual 34. What happens with that? Before all the villagers go insane, they'll be exterminated. To be exact, a special unit from the Self-Defense Force will seal off Hinamizawa and kill the villagers using poisonous gas. I've never heard of that before, either. Sorry, I don't really like talking about it. I've been interested in things that might happen before I die, but not in things that happen after I'm dead. This disaster only takes place after I die. I had no idea that something like this occurs every single time. Or rather, I'm the cause. If the enemy is capable of erasing an entire village, then killing a little girl like me won't be a problem at all. Hanyu was telling me to just talk to everyone, but can I really stand against an opponent like that? Anyway, the existence of this emergency manual changes everything. Takano's motive no longer makes sense. I thought her goal was for all the villagers to go mad and slaughter each other like demons. But according to what Irie said, that wouldn't even happen. The villagers will all be killed before it does. I'm not Takano, so I can't be sure, but I don't think that would be fun for her. It doesn't make sense to kill me for that purpose, especially since we've known each other for such a long time. Do you think it's possible for Takano and the Mountain Dogs to kill me? Don't be stupid! That's just impossible! Takano-san's #1 priority is to protect you, And one of the mountain dog's main duties is to watch over you. That's simply unthinkable. Irie. Even so, supposing Takano wanted to kill me, could you think of a motive for her doing so? No, I can't. She knows better than anybody about the dangers of the Queen Carrier. Besides, as you're well aware, she's very passionate about our research into the syndrome. Killing you would put an end to that source of her passion. But, Irie, Hinamizawa syndrome is supposed to be eradicated within 3 years, isn't it? In other words, you're going to destroy the disease. What does Takano think about that? Well, Hinamizawa syndrome is the target of treatment for me, but for Takano-san it's research material. Actually, she's strongly against the plan to eradicate it within 3 years, and she has even made a trip to Tokyo to request an indefinite extension of the project from the board of directors. She was not successful, though. So what you're saying is that Takano wants to continue her research, but Hinamizawa syndrome is going to be eradicated within 3 years. So Takano is going to lose the subject of her research, isn't she? I guess you can say that. I think I see something here. The Irie Institute isn't a small organization. It's being managed by a lot of people, and it receives a great deal of funding. That's the only way they can even research the syndrome. So if the Irie Institute is planning to put an end to the research within 3 years, there really isn't much Takano can do about it. If it's all going to end anyway, then maybe she wants to shake things up. No way! Something like that can't possibly happen. But you know how she is, right? She would do it. She would kill me if she wanted to, don't you think? No way. No way. Something as horrible as that just isn't possible! I feel like I'm starting to see Takano's motive, but it seems like there must be more. After all, the project will continue for at least 3 additional years. It's possible that during those 3 years, Takano's request will be approved, and their research will get an extension. In other words, the research is guaranteed to continue for a minimum of 3 more years. Given those 3 years, why is she so desperate now? Besides, I'm always killed in June 1983. The date may change a bit, but the month won't. That must be the result of her strong willpower. It would be one thing if their research was being terminated immediately. She still has 3 years, yet she's already getting desperate. Her motive is too weak. She must be possessed of the strong conviction that it has to be June 1983. After that, no matter how I questioned Irie, he kept repeating that there was no way Takano would kill me, so I didn't see how he could be of any more help. However, if I'm able to explain Takano's motive, then I think he will be my ally. But for now, I think this is all I can do with him. I'm going to talk to Tomitake too. Tomitake is a lot closer to Tokyo than Irie is. Maybe he can tell me something Irie can't. I hope I can learn some important things from him too. Enough to convince him that Takano has a strong enough motive to kill me. Tomitake should be visiting Hinamizawa around this time. He spends a lot of time with Takano, but he often takes walks by himself to enjoy photographing birds too. I'll try finding him when he's not with Takano and talking to him then. Although Tomitake does have strong feelings towards Takano. I'm worried he won't listen to me as seriously as Irie did. Thank you very much. I'm going back to the classroom. If you find out something about Takano, please let me know. Rika-san! Why do you think Takano-san is trying to kill you? You haven't developed symptoms, have you? If you're doubting me, then would you like to run a test right now? I said some terrible things out of the blue, so I don't blame him for becoming suspicious. However, thanks to the rapid diagnostic test Irie had developed at this point, it was easy to prove with a syringe. I just had to submit to the needle to show that I haven't developed terminal symptoms. The results were negative, of course. It's just impossible. For Takano-san to... Just impossible! Maybe now Irie believes that there's a possibility that Takano is trying to kill me. I left the nurse's office. I hope Irie will grow curious about Takano and try to find out something about her. So how was it, Rika?
Did you find out anything?
Well, yes and no. It's hard to say, but there are a couple of interesting things. One is how the Irie Institute is trying to eradicate the syndrome within 3 years. Takano doesn't like the idea. She went to Tokyo to petition for the continuation of her research, but they refused. That might cause her to become desperate. The second is this thing called Emergency Manual 34. Supposedly, if I die, that will be executed, and the whole village will be murdered by poisonous gas.
No.
They say that when I die, the villagers will develop terminal symptoms, right? First, I thought that Takano wants me dead because she wants to see that happen. But since there is such an emergency manual, the village will be gone long before then. So that can't be her motive. Every time I ask Irie, all he says is that isn't possible. According to him, Takano understands the importance of the situation better than anybody. Therefore, she doesn't have any reason to kill me.
Hello.
I know. I've only asked Irie so far. It's possible we can learn more information or wisdom from other people, too.
That's right. Unless we bring everyone's power together, a miracle won't occur.
We need that miracle to defeat our enemies.
It's almost lunchtime. That'll be a good chance to talk to everyone.
Though, the problem is whether or not they'll take it seriously when I talk to them. Once I start talking about the secret society Tokyo, they'll obviously ask what manga I'm talking about. I need to figure out a good way to discuss it so I avoid misunderstandings.
Oh, I think it'll be better to be honest with them without really thinking too much about it.
Do you really think so?
Yes. Let's just try. Tell them in the way I'll teach you, and I'm sure they'll take you seriously and help out.
I'm still not sure, but Hanyu seems very confident. Hanyu has spent her life observing various people. She had never talked to Mion directly before this life, but she knows her better than I do. I talked to everyone during lunchtime, in the way that Hanyu taught me. Okay, you gonna actually show the conversation? Yes? That sure is interesting. And then?
That's amazing, Rika-chan! How do you come up with things like that?
I know! You're so talented. If you work on it a little more, you could end up with a really great manga.
I don't know what to say. I thought maybe something was bothering you because you haven't been looking good since this morning. Why didn't you come to me first? See? I told you that you could count on them. Hello?
Count on them, huh? It all comes down to how you put it, I guess. This old man can create application forms, make rough drafts, ink, tone, draw backgrounds, typeset, and proofread, take manuscripts to a printer, publish, distribute, and support. He can do it all. Good thing you came to him.
You sure are great, Mion. You can be a cartoonist, an editor, a publisher, and a bookstore owner all at once.
Really? My dad says things like that too. Is doing everything yourself in style now?
I'm curious about what kind of comic Mi-chan would write. I'm curious.
Probably war stories or something.
Hold on. You're all getting sidetracked. Let's help Rika out, alright?
I told them about all the secrets surrounding Hinamizawa. I told them that I wanted to write a comic book and that I needed their help to decide on a few things. If I spoke to them about this normally, they might question my sanity, but to see things change this dramatically with just a little preface. Hanyu, you're pretty good. Anyway, so if this queen carrier dies, the village will be destroyed because of some emergency measure. That's the focus, right? I just threw my mouse on accident.
My goodness. If there really was someone like that, she had better be very careful. One mistake and poof, the whole village would disappear. We should just capture her, wrap her in bubble wrap, and put her in storage or something. But she gets killed, right? If they know her death will create a disaster, why would they kill her? Why?
That's just it. The bad people at the research center know what will happen. Yet they're still trying to kill me. I mean, the Queen Carrier. I just can't think of a good explanation for why. I kind of see an outline of the motive, though. Can they actually find a hint without knowing any of the actual details? That's so simple! The fact that the entire village gets destroyed if the Queen Carrier dies is a motive in and of itself! Mion laughed as she casually voiced what was on her mind.
But Mion, this villain wants to research the disease more, so there's no way she'd put an end to it herself. Oh.
That's not a big problem. Just set some masterminds pulling strings behind that villain. That or some villain who's just using that villain. A villain who wants to use Takano? Listen, if the queen dies, the village is plunged into chaos. To cover it up, a mass execution operation is carried out. Fundamentally, this is a countermeasure against the worst possible outcome. A trump card that must never be played. Because playing it causes a disaster of its own, even if it settles the previous situation. You're right. In politics, I'm 14 by the way, they always talk about who takes responsibility for this and who resigns for that. If in fact a mass execution like that was to take place, someone would have to explain that and take responsibility. Well, it's a secret operation, so I'm sure it won't be made public. But there will be many people questioned within that Tokyo organization, that's for sure. Isn't that a motive for killing the Queen Carrier?
No? Why? Who benefits from such chaos?
There are plenty of people. Think about it. The wind always blows in one direction. For some people it's a headwind, and for others it's a tailwind. There are always people who gain, and people who lose.
I see. Ha 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 ha! My brain finds this quite stimulating. In other words, if something like that happens, there will be some people who have to take responsibility for it. And their enemies will gain from it, whoever they are. That's right. There are always different powers and factions within an organization. Especially if it is a huge mastermind organization like this Tokyo. I'm sure many different people there have hidden agendas.
In other words, there are plenty of people who want to rule over others. And there are plenty of reasons to assassinate the Queen Carrier.
Are you saying that even if the bad person doesn't have a reason, that there could be people who have reasons to kill the Queen Carrier in Tokyo?
There you go. You've got it. Also, what about this backstory for the bad person at the secret research center? Is she still speaking? I guess. She wants to keep her research going, but it's already been decided. Oh, no, wait. No, this is inside. Her mouth was just moving. She wants to keep her research going, but it's already been decided it'll end within 3 years, right? No, she did say that. She wants to keep her research going, but it's already been decided it'll end within 3 years, right? So this researcher is about to see all her research turn to naught. That means all the fruits of her life's work are about to be ruined, and she's under extreme duress. Not only that, I think her pride must be hurt too. That's true. The value of the research this bad person has spent half of her life on isn't being acknowledged by the people at the top, and they even told her that it'll be shut down within 3 years.
That must be tough. It's hard when other people deny that which you've worked so hard to accomplish. Rika?
Yeah, I know. Amazing. My friends really are the best. This is starting to sound like a real motive for Takano.
How? So, what would this bad person do then?
Of course, the first thing she'd do would be to appeal to her bosses. She'd probably try to explain to Tokyo how important and valuable her research is, and ask them not to shut it down. But, well, if Tokyo just said, yes, got it, continue your research, we'll increase your budget too, then it wouldn't be much of a comic. So the bosses at Tokyo are sure to turn her request down hard and thoroughly. They tell her that her work is a waste of time and that it should be scrapped immediately or something like that. Irie told me Takano had gone to Tokyo to request an extension on her research. He also said that her request was denied.
Oh! Can you imagine her anger at having her life's work mocked by her superiors? There are, then, only two options open to her.
Satoko, what are they?
That's easy. She can cry herself to sleep over it, or she can take revenge.
Keiichi and Satoko gave each other a high five. Well, lying down and taking it wouldn't be very interesting either. In that case, the villainous researcher, who loved her research more than anyone, starts growing desperate and believing she should at least end it herself, rather than letting someone else end it for her. All because of her pride.
Oh god, I'm fiddling with this plastic collarbone that I have because I put like plastic bones around my room as like Halloween decorations. So, yeah. And that's where the hidden agenda from Tokyo comes in. No way. You mean that idea that someone will gain when the village is thrown into disaster and another's forced to take responsibility? Exactly! The villainous researcher is depressed after having her life's work rejected. But by riling her up the right way, they can cause a tragedy in the village without soiling their own hands. Then they can take their time investigating and demanding responsibility. Well done!
Wait, what? Then they can take their time investigating and demanding responsibility. Well done. Okay, sure.
See?
That's right! There's more. This villain is depressed after having her life's work rejected, right? So then one of the young leaders plotting to kick another member of Tokyo down and climb the ladder dispatches his own agent to entice this villain.
She's depressed because her reason for existing was trampled on, right? If someone tells her that he believes in her and such, she'll fall for it easily. The stronger a person's pride is, the easier they fall for that kind of encouragement.
How do these teenagers know all this? That means the bad person is simply being used by her evil masterminds. Well, this happens a lot in action shows. You know how, like, someone devotes his life to an evil organization, but after one mistake, he gets eliminated?
But in this story, the evil researcher has to be eliminated for sure, right? For the masterminds, there's no point in letting her stick around.
That's right. So this poor bad person, she thinks she has gotten an evil little part to play, but at the end, her life's work is insulted, she gets used by the masterminds, and after all of that, she gets killed. Although she's a bad person, people may sympathize with her for what she has to go through. But I guess that's what makes the story interesting. Don't you think? Maybe we can use that in the next issue. Hanyu and I could only listen to them talk. They are truly amazing. They really are. It is very possible, especially if I think about Takano's character. Come to think of it, Irie kept repeating that isn't possible a whole lot. Which means that those words could be a reflection of how possible it might really be. Yeah, it's impossible is in fact the opposite of it's possible. Good job, Rika. You've been alive for 100 years and what? You can deliver that to us? Good job. I'm sure my friends can answer that question. I'm going to ask them. So let's ask them. I'm going to ask them, so let's ask them. She's being real redundant right now. What the fuck?
Oh. Then why is she so depressed when she still has 3 years left?
That doesn't matter. It really doesn't make a difference if you're getting executed tomorrow or 3 days later, right? It's just a matter of the length of her probation. This bad person doesn't feel like she has 3 years left. She feels that she has been sentenced to die in 3 years. That's just what the masterminds want. They're the ones controlling this bad person. I think it's the masterminds who want to destroy the village at this particular time, not the bad person. This is a huge operation, you know? It has to succeed. The death of the Queen Carrier isn't their only key to success. Whoever's at the top has to decide to go ahead with the emergency measure.
But wait, didn't
Takano make that emergency manual, so this is all wrong, isn't it? Like, yeah, I think she is being used, but, like, still. The responsibility issue after the operation aside, they have to take care of things like preparation, or rather, they have to figure out the perfect time to do the most damage. After calculating all that, I think they're going to get on with the operation now that the project has only 3 years left. So in the end, after this bad person gets used, she's eliminated. She's the villain, but I feel sorry for her.
I see. Oh, how...
Okay, let me move on to the most important thing. To defeat them, how can the Queen Carrier girl fight back? She's the main character in my story. Huh, that sounds interesting. So the girl they're trying to kill has to run from the evil people, right? It depends on how you serialize it. If you want a long series, coming up with new pursuers and assassins one after another will let you go on for a long time.
If possible, we want a short-term and concentrated series.
I burst out laughing at Hanyu's metaphor. Okay, then we just have to take care of the bad person quickly and shoot for a happy ending. It's more exciting to fight than to run.
But the main character is just an ordinary little girl, right? How can she fight?
Girls nowadays aren't powerless. She might appear to be a cute, weak girl, but she has secret hidden powers. She's an S-rank hunter with the blood of royalty, and her nickname is the Ebony Fallen Angel. Sure.
That sounds like the lame original character of some middle schooler.
Well, isn't it? In this case, and she fell over. Hey, Mion, what's wrong? Do you have a stomachache or something? God, Ren is a brutal workshopper, what the fuck? It's fine. This old man is just not talented enough. Mion, you can do it. Then when you read that manga 10 years from now, it may be so bitter you writhe in agony. Lame is not a word I ever expected Rena to say.
Hello? I don't know exactly what Mion is trying to say, but anyway, the main character is a weak little girl and she doesn't have any special weapons. But she can tell the future. If anything, she's good at acting innocent. Also, she's mean and she abuses me with spicy food.
That sounds good. I'll try that starting tonight.
Hello.
I see. So she's just a regular girl, huh? But a story where a character like that beats such a conspiracy is going to be difficult. No way, it's impossible! She couldn't win without at least gathering a variety of weapons and the skills to operate a radio and a helicopter. Either that or a professional survivalist who underwent special forces training with the Soviets. That or someone capable of causing confusion in the ranks with just a truck and a few weapons once they're in the jungle.
I have a feeling that if Mion and Sataka were the main character's friends, that'd solve the problem right there.
True. Huh? This old man? Sure, if he was a character, it'd change the whole story. My fighting techniques and leadership skills are unparalleled. Plus, if the story took place here in this village, my familiarity with the area is top-notch too. Besides, anyone who makes an enemy of Sataka is as good as dead. Ain't I right?
I don't know what kind of a secret unit this bad person has, but they are nothing compared to my traps. If the main character and I barricaded ourselves in the hills, no enemy could lay his fingers on her.
Yeah, if she holds up with Satoko in the hills behind us, then her assailants will need either a bombardment capable of crossing the whole thing, or a Hanoi-class heavy bomber at least. Even if they led with that before entering the mountain, they'd still take on severe casualties. Mountain alone. Furthermore, I'd be commanding the operations. Well, her assailants better be prepared for casualties on par with the Iwo Jima landing. Right, Satoko?
I don't know what an Iwo Jima is. They better bring a nuclear warhead if they want to fight me in the hills.
And then they do.
True. Satoko would be amazing in the hills. But are you sure you can defeat the the bad person's helpers? They're professionals, you know.
Surprise attacks and traps are effective against anyone. The Vietnam War is a good example. The US Army, the most powerful military in the world, couldn't stand up against the jungle. A multitude of traps set by someone who knows the area well will go a very long way. True, actually. Are you saying Satoko's traps would work on them too? Well, yeah, it's just the Home Alone effect. Like, professional criminals going into your fucking house. But you know your house better than anyone, and for some reason you have a fucking laundry elevator. So drop an anvil down it, and then, you killed one of them. Congratulations. Of course. Not only that, they'd be very effective. The purpose of traps isn't just to ensnare their victims. They also make people extremely afraid. They are professionals, so they'll be extra careful. Therefore, their commander will become indecisive. He will have to decide whether to go into the hills or not. That means we gain more time. Keiichi, what you doing? So they would need at least a bombardment to capture us. But this isn't a war, so they probably won't go that far. I definitely don't think that's possible. Anyway, Mion is a professional when it comes to deciding on tactics. And she's saying that Satoko's traps will be more than effective, even against the mountain dogs. That's very reassuring. The flip side of traps is that they can only be used to defend, and it takes a long time to set them up. Also, traps don't discriminate. Satoko's hills meet all the requirements, though. Okay, Rena, your turn.
That's true. Nobody goes into the hills, and Satoko-chan's traps are already everywhere. The main character can barricade herself in by just going there.
If I'm going to be there, it won't be just a simple barricade. I'm going to use it as a diversion to draw away the enemy's main force, and then launch a surprise attack. Drawing the enemy in deep and attacking from behind when their defenses are light is a rudimentary tactic for an ambushing counterattack. Repelling them at the beachhead is the height of hard-headedness.
Mi-chan and Satoko-chan are so cool. But, Keiichi-kun and I are left out. Then all of us will be the main characters. We'll all fight them off together.
There you go. That's better. Now that we're all in on it, it's like this is the club members versus an evil organization, huh? I don't know what kind of a bad person this is, but I feel sorry for her and her friends. Though I don't know how powerful they are. Fighting face to face is one thing, but if we use our knowledge of the terrain, they have no chance of winning. If they want to defeat us here in Hinamizawa, they'll need to bring an Overlord-class army to bear. Though we'll fight off even that. Mion laughed and everyone nodded along. Amazing. I'm starting to think that if we try our best, we can defeat even the mountain dogs. If we fight directly, we'll be taken down immediately, even if we use a surprise attack. But if we set traps, and if we have enough of them, who knows?
See, Rika? Your friends are very reliable.
You're right. I don't know why I never told them anything until now.
Even if it's something you can't do alone, you can do it with your friends.
Even if only a miracle can make it happen, if we all try our hardest, it can be done easily. That's what a miracle is. My heart is pounding. What is this emotion? I feel like nothing is impossible if I work together with them. Hanyu told me that, in a different world, they defeated the worst scenario of all. The one where Teppei comes home. I don't remember, but something tells me deep inside that the exact same kind of miracle is about to happen in this world, too.
Me?
And everyone else, too. We want a lot more ideas. How can we defeat this conspiracy? Please, tell me a lot more. Okay. God damn it, you really gotta do this right at 40 minutes? I mean, I feel fine to continue, so... Yeah, but like... How much more is it gonna go for? Hi, Mion. Why are you fading in and out and then fading back in? Was that supposed to happen? I really doubt that was supposed to happen, but whatever. There she is again! Ah, boy. Do I end? I'm at like 40 minutes, so... This is reasonable, right? Like, I don't fucking know. This series has been going on for forever anyways. We probably won't be done till the end of the year, so... Oh, well. What time is it? 6:30. Yikes. Okay, I think I will just end here. Sorry, another slightly short one, but hey, at least we're at 40 minutes, which is reasonable, you know, so... Yeah, plus that was entertaining, I think. I don't know how much longer my voice can keep up. Still trying to get into a habit. But, yeah, we'll do better eventually. Plus, whenever we do get to the finale of this chapter, it'll probably be 4 fucking hours anyway, so... Yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button. And if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!